Blitz Royale is Fortnite's latest metaverse game mode, a shorter version of the standard Battle Royale playlist, and even shorter version of the Reload playlist, but not anything like the Ballistic playlist. You drop onto the island with a random medallion. You have 5 minutes to survive the game and eliminate 30 or so other people. Throughout your 5-minute journey, you may find more medallions, boons, mythic weapons, exotic weapons, forbidden weapons, new items, pointless items, new locations, old locations, regular chests, god chests, mythic chests, and most importantly, AI-generated opponents. Does that make sense? With the attention span of the average person in modern day slowly dwindling down into the human equivalent of a goldfish's memory, Fortnite had to change.
Listen lads, we're going down the shitter. I wish I could say it in a nicer way, but the world of business is cutthroat. 20 minutes is simply too long. We need to change.
Tim, hear me out here. What about 15 minutes?
It's good, but we need to go deeper here. We need to go farther than anyone's ever gone before.
What about 5 minutes?
That is the best idea I have ever heard. Somebody give this guy a promotion. You know what? Make him the new CEO. I don't even care anymore. My work here is done.
Blitz Royale was born, described by Epic Games as a game where you start each match with a random medallion and jump straight into the action. Rack up eliminations and survive storm circles to increase your Blitz rank, which grants you powerful loot as you rank up. Yeah, that seems pretty accurate. Just between me and you, it felt like this mode itself was made in about 5 minutes. I mean, just look at it! They took the Venture Reload map, psst, this is one of the bad ones, cut out Tilted Towers and said, yeah, that looks about right, and then threw it out into the wind! Not to mention the fact that the Blitz rank system is literally just the Chapter 6 match rank mechanic with a different coat of paint. But saying it's a different coat of paint is like saying that Red 1, Red 2, and Candy Apple Red are all different paints. All the artists are watching this video are gonna love that one! Not to mention that the loot pool itself felt like it was AI generated with unbalanced weapons out the whistle! Why is the Infinity Blade here? Whose idea was this? Tim! We'll touch more on the loot pool later. But genuinely, some of the decisions they made when it came to what could and couldn't be in the game makes me want to ask the questions, Tim, did we even test the game? Despite all of the features that should lead to this mode being absolutely dead on arrival, absolutely nobody playing it, it is constantly in the top 3 most played modes at Fortnite at any given moment. And unlike all of the other popular modes, Blitz doesn't even have a builds or no builds playlist. It's just like that. But what are Blitz's effects on Fortnite as a whole? I mean, Reload became one of the most popular game modes last year, and the entire Squid Game collab was directly tied to it. Fortnite Festival was arguably the most popular original metaverse mode, and you know what, never mind. If you enjoyed today's video, then consider subscribing and using code BigCraigd in the Fortnite item shop. And you know what, while you're at it, why don't you just become a channel member for $2.99 a month like these lovely people who have access to a behind-the-scenes video director's commentary for my short films, 45 minutes of extra content for every episode of the Talk to Me podcast, your name at the beginning of every video, exclusive TheBigCraigd emojis, priority reply in the comments, a special members role on my Discord, early access to a video script sometimes, and a kiss on the mouth from me. Wait, no, we don't have that one. I don't know how I got there. Okay, guys, let's get on with the video. I'm done self-promoting now. Follow my Twitter! Week 2 of the mode's release brought the Avatar Mythics to the game. Every match, players would start with a random Avatar Mythic, and they were useless, and I would drop them every game. This week came with some map changes that spiced up the map and made it a little more unique. One of these changes included the God Drop. This place spawns with so many chests, and the fact that it will probably get overrun by the storm in about 3.2 seconds isn't even that big of a deal. That's how good this place is. The problem is that Blitz changes too frequently. When I went to go and get some footage for this video, half of the stuff I refer to in this video has been eviscerated from the game. It's not there anymore, so you'll just have to take my fucking word for it. Week 3 brought back some of the fan-favorite boss mythic weapons from back in the day. For example, Brutus's minigun, and I couldn't remember any of the others. Week 4, or as the kids are calling it, TMNT Melee Mayhem, brought back the Ninja Turtles mythics, and they were also not very good, but they were good for traversal, so, you know, positives and negatives, positives and negatives. Week 5, Boon Bonanza, they added more boons. What do you want from me? A detailed list of everything they added? Come on, you don't care, I don't care, let's just move on. Week 6 was called Envision the Void, and as far as I can remember, you pretty much just got the Void mask when you spawned in. Yeah. Whoopee! Week 7 was an interesting one, because it brought the first major map change to Blitz Royale. It removed Retail Row, and in its place came Mega City. Or Blitz Mega City. Or Blitz Lord Mega City. Or Blitz. This was very interesting, because it showed that Epic were willing to bring back some of the old new features to the game that wasn't just Chapter 1 locations. And Mega City is one of the most iconic modern-day Fortnite locations. It was a great move to bring it to Blitz. We also got the 6-stack Pure Chaos playlist, which just amazing. No notes. It's great. I mean, if I had to attempt to try and describe this mode, then I would probably say that this mode feels like you're trying to keep control over a class of set 8 math kids and failing miserably. At the end of week 7, they randomly gave Blitz its first ever live event. For 1 hour only after the Super Showdown event, any player who loaded into Blitz would be granted with unlimited Kamehamehas. Or Kamiyamamas. Uh-oh, it's week 8, and look out everyone, Tyler Fortnite Ninja Gamer Blevins Gamer has taken over Fortnite. It's his world now. We're just living in it. Everyone run! This collab was set up in a very lame way where Ninja would just do like day 45 of asking Fortnite to make me the Blitz boss. Like it was the most stupid corporate thing to ever, like, come on. Ninja controlled the game for an entire week and he could do anything he wanted. Anything his imagination, anything his heart desired, as long as it was approved by Epic Games quality assurance team a few weeks beforehand. And what was the first thing he did with this incredible power? Snipers only. Oh, come on, Tyler. You had the power to bring back the 7 and all you did was... But you know what they say? With great power comes great responsibility. Which is why he fucking pawned it off on us. He did some other random stuff that I couldn't keep track of. In other words, I was incredibly bored by it. But most interestingly, he had his own unique weapons added to the loot pool one day. Like a shotgun. Wow. He had a junk launcher, which was very fun. A boogie bomb that made you jump incredibly high. Missed opportunity on not making them floss though, Blevins, my boy. You would have seen plenty of movement from that. A poison assault rifle, which... I'm surprised this wasn't added to the game sooner. And, Epic, for future reference, don't bring it back. With big, stupid, stinky Ninja out of the way, he ignored my collab email. We are now moving on to week 9, which brought back the Citadel from Chapter 4. Another good element from Chapter 4. One of the only. This POI replaced lazy lapped... Wait, what? No! Seeing Blitz get consistent map changes was interesting, because the way that Epic... You bitch. Sorry, lads. Just really popular. Because the way that Epic clearly does not care about the balancing of the loot pool or the flow of the map meant that literally anything was possible. Oh, that was unfortunate. Because the way that Epic clearly does not care about the balancing of the loot pool or the flow of the map meant that literally anything was possible to add to the game. I'm gonna ask them to add my exact house into the game. 14 Wimbledon Avenue. Week 10 brought the Season 4 medallions to the game. What? No, not every week can be insane. Week 11, otherwise known as Asteria Awakens, did something. Listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to pull back the magician's curtain here for a minute. I'm writing this on August 18th. I have no idea how the map looks after week 11. If I had to guess based on the little image we received, it would seem that the entire Blitz map will receive a Chapter 4 overhaul to make it stand out amongst the other maps that are in the game. I've come to this conclusion based on context clues given to us by Epic Games. As you can see in the image here, the shade of the grass and the cliffsides do not currently match the shades currently presented to us in the game. Now, I do hate Chapter 4, that much is known, but I really like this. I never hated Chapter 4 because of the content they added. I actually thought that most of Chapter 4's content was pretty good. Not you! The reason I hated Chapter 4 so much was actually the context in which these features were brought into the game. Outside of that context, aka... And week 12 is Player's Choice, and they might as well hire us as full-time employees at this rate, because this is the second Player's Choice event we've had in a month. But then again, Epic Games are busy trying to negotiate an employment deal with Skyan at the minute, so it makes sense why we'd have to do their jobs for them for a while. And that was the concise history of Blitz Royale, teaser for my next long-form video. Oh, okay, I'm sorry that I didn't give you a full detailed list of the patch notes, like, oh, on June 24th, they adjusted the Golden Llama spawn rate from 100% to 15%. Just for fun, I thought that now would be a good portion in the video to talk about what I would like for the future of Blitz as a game mode, so let's do that. They'll edit out this awkward pause, I'm sure. Transformation Week. We've been getting these transformation events in the game for the past few seasons in a row now, you don't count. And I think it would be a damn shame not to reuse some of them. There's Thanos, Doom, Superman, the Star Destroyer, Godzilla, the upcoming Megazord. Put those babies to use and have players duke it out using these abilities. But Doom is significantly stronger than all of these, which will lead to a poor balance and meta based around luck. Not to mention the fact that all are either from third-party intellectual properties, most of which are... Can you shut the fuck up? Star Wars Week. Do mini-season through Blitz from now on, please. I don't want any more collab seasons, please. Please. Just... Please. I've had it up to here. Please. Just put in Blitz, please. Please. Put it in Blitz. At least that is out of the way. Just randomly have a week where planes are back. Thoughts? Mechs, they're a good ones too. Throw that in the pile. Okay, now let me think of some locations that they could add. You can make the map a big farm. That would be funny, wouldn't it? Polar Peak? Now that would be very interesting considering the verticality of the POI. I can just imagine it now. Silly little AI opponents falling off of the side like, yeah, bye-bye AI. That's what you get for stealing creativity. I promise, I did try and stop myself from mentioning Sanctuary. But come on, man. Add Sanctuary and the Joneses. The people are begging for it. And by people, I mean me. So with all of the context clues throughout this video, you might assume that I don't actually like this mode very much. You know, the mini paragraph teaser I gave in the beginning of the video, the title, my overall demeanor and cadence. But no, actually, I think Blitz Royale is actually really fun. The fact that the mode is so short and kind of low stakes means that Epic Games can add all sorts of wacky chicanery without worrying about the QA testing, balancing issues, you know, the works. And you might think that not really considering balancing issues might hurt the game, and for most games it definitely would. But not really in this case. In your typical Battle Royale match, you drop down onto the island, spend the first 5 minutes of the match looting up, another 5 minutes aimlessly wandering around the map looking for any semblance of human life, get into one real fight and die. And any player who has a functioning frontal lobe and opposable thumbs won't really struggle to at least get into the top 20 in your average BR match. Once you reach that area, it might get a little more difficult, mainly because all the AI opponents are dead. But the issue is that it takes so long to get to that part of the match that at that point you'll mainly be playing passively because you've played for a decent amount of time already and you don't want it to be for nothing. Or if you die, then you get frustrated with the game because, well, you've spent so long doing absolutely nothing for the first 15 minutes only to get headshot sniped in the back of the head. What? For this reason, I absolutely hate Battle Royales typically. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time. Fortnite is the only exception, really, and even then, sometimes I just can't take it anymore. Actually, Super Mario 35 is pretty good. The same issue persists in Reload, even though the match is shorter. If you're playing solo and you die at any point after the first maybe 5 minutes, you might as well just leave the game, even if you do still have 2 lives left. Because you've lost your inventory, and for absolutely no reason, every single building in the entire map is filled with the population of Zimbabwe. That's 16.63 million for the uninitiated. But Blitz doesn't really have these issues. Despite having the loading times of my nan, Blitz doesn't really have that much of a time sink. Laugh now. You loaded and die off spawn? Okay, that's fine. Literally just wait 60 seconds and you'll be back where you started. But either way, you're probably not going to end up dying because of the AI-generated opponents. Unless you're playing the Pure Chaos playlist, I'd wager that about 90% of the entire lobby are bots.
That is 3.2 real players for those of you that failed your GCSE maths.
Like I did. And I know most people hate bots with everything they have and they just want to see them purged from existence. If you ever want an army to stop the AI uprising, then just use the Fortnite community. I have no idea how effective they'll be, but they talk a lot of shit, and that's gotta mean something. You know, me personally, I don't think that bots are too bad in this mode. I know, I'm sorry. Listen, alright, nobody's going to the Blitz Royale for a hyper-competitive, balanced experience with real players, alright? This is the game mode that gave you an unlimited Kamehamehas for an hour straight. Let's all calm down. You're going into Blitz because you have a spare 5 minutes and want to shoot some people in Fortnite and play around in the sandbox using items that are quite frankly the front to God in every other mode but this one. And considering that this mode was initially made for mobile players, it would make sense that it's littered with bots. The thumbs of the average mobile player would be too fat to see the flipping screen. You're going into Blitz for a casual, fun time where you shoot at people with weapons and abilities that aren't really in the game otherwise. It's harmless to have bots there, especially when the matches only last 5 minutes, you know, a bit like you in bed. And in the end, it's all pointless anyway because there's a mode without bots, so there was no point even talking about it, alright? Okay, happy now? The problem with Blitz is that everything about it feels like it should be slop and corporate and not really fun in the slightest, but the Fortnite sandbox and gameplay just feels so good that I can't bring myself to not have a good time. The random weekly updates really do help this mode as well. It keeps it fun and fresh and entertaining, which is great! Yeah! But with Blitz doing so well, is there really any point in putting resources into other modes? Fortnite Blitz doing amazing is great. For Fortnite. And a little bit for us. For Fortnite, it means more player retention, it means more opportunities for collabs, it means more people playing, which means a higher chance of people buying things in the item shop, and also a higher payout for them from the creator fund. For us, it means that a mode we're enjoying will continue to get support, new locations, weapons, you know, stuff like that. We saw this last year for Reload. Reload in the span of a year got 4 brand new maps, all of which were built from the ground up for Reload. Especially Squid Grounds, even though I didn't like it. Lego Fortnite and Festival, I don't even know what's going on over there, to be completely honest with you. That has nothing to do with this. Are there more people buying jam tracks now that they're rarer? I don't get it. Are more people buying Lego in the item shop because they're focusing more on Brick Life than Expeditions and Odyssey combined? Except, oh no, they definitely aren't because the Lego sets haven't been in the shop for several flipping moons. What I'm trying to say is that game modes with a lot of retention and consistent player bases will continue to receive attention. It's why Ballistic still hasn't had any new finished maps despite 2 shell maps being added to rotation 4 months ago. Blitz already had an established weekly update system. You know, sometimes it will be a big update where they overhaul whole areas of the map, and other times it will be small little updates where they don't really change that much. But now that Blitz is officially confirmed to be permanent, it makes me wonder whether we'll see bigger updates for Blitz down the line. Could this potentially change the development of other game modes? Rocket Racing, Festival, Lego Fortnite, OG, they're all going to stay the same. Whatever state they're in now, that's the state they're most likely going to stay in. Lego Fortnite will keep getting small updates throughout its 3 game modes, and OG will progress as usual with changes to the map and the loot pool and the mechanics in order to sustain parity between Chapter 1 and the OG game mode. Kind of. Reload, on the other hand, well, that's another story. Reload has never really been consistent with its content release to begin with. The mode released in late June, Oasis came out in early November, Slurp Rush came out in April, and Squid Grounds came out in late June. It's 5 months, then 6, then 2... I don't get it. Me personally, I started having doubts about Reload's future content-wise when Squid Grounds released. Squid Grounds was completely focused on an IP that was not Fortnite, which is completely different to everything we've had from Reload up until this point. But it also removed Oasis from the entire game. It has been impossible to play on the Oasis map since late June, and they didn't even really warn us.
So, I hear you're liking our new Reload map.
Oh, yeah, it's nice. I love Oasis.
Good, because we're taking it out. Loser. Nerd. Bum ass.
So not only did Reload never really have a consistent content schedule to begin with, but they were already facing content distribution issues when it came to their repetitive loophole changes, with changes so irrelevant that they might as well not have happened to begin with, and the fact that they're already vaulting content, which in turn makes the game mode worse. I have no idea what the future holds for Reload. It's still a popular game mode, but I feel as though making content for it consistently for Fortnite is too time-consuming and difficult, especially since the Reload player base kind of sustains itself at this point. Unlike BR seasons, Reload's player count never really goes down. It only really goes down when a new metaverse mode launches or a new BR season drops, and even then it's only for like 6 hours and then it's back on the podium. I think Fortnite will either stop developing maps for Reload or they're just going to take much longer to get the maps out than before. Either way, I'm not too worried about Reload because, like I said, it has enough content to sustain its stealth, and if they add any more new content, probably means that they'll be removing other content to make way for the new stuff, which in my opinion is kind of pointless, but we'll have to see. Battle Royale is the main mode everyone's concerned with. People think that the introduction of Blitz and its mass popularity will hinder the Chapter 6 game mode and make it have less content, which... Let's be serious for a minute. We had this exact conversation in 2024 when they added all the old metaverse modes like Festival and Lego, only for them to give us some of the most experimental and crazy BR seasons of all time that everyone hated, but that's besides the point. We also had this conversation when Reload released, when OG released, and now when Blitz has released. Battle Royale is an absolute staple for Fortnite. I don't think they would ever stop treating it as a primary mode unless the play base was really, really bad, which for some reason everyone thinks is happening. Spoiler alert, 300,000 players is not really that bad. BR is still getting more players than Blitz, so I don't see why they would make less content for BR in favor for Blitz when BR is still where the majority of the player base resides, not only to mention that the fact that every piece of content for Blitz, except for the ninja stuff, was content already in the game. Reload map elements, Chapter 4 POIs, Chapter 6 weapons, Avatar mythics, Turtle mythics, Season 4 medallions, Old Boss mythic items. Blitz is clearly just using content that came before, whereas BR is mainly using new content with splashes of old content to keep things familiar. It is very sad that we have to continuously keep having this conversation every single time that a new mode released. Also, isn't it funny how every mode that has done well has been a combat mode? What a surprise! It's not even the community's fault for having fears over their favorite mode getting less and less content, because it's already happened. For Rocket Racing, sure, I mean, nobody was playing it except for me and the guy on Twitter. Everyone hated it. But Lego and Festival were doing pretty bloody good. Sure, Lego Fortnite struggled with making any kind of money whatsoever, but it managed to retain a player base, and even though the Lego Fortnite community has gone over 6 months without substantial updates, there are still a decent amount of people playing. And Fortnite Festival just confuses me. How they took a mode like this and just continued to make it worse and worse and worse and worse. Ooh, but we're getting a really good headliner next. Yeah, okay, watch their trailer be focused around Battle Royale and watch them have 2 entire songs for the season while Baby fucking Shark gets an entire week all to itself. You laugh now, but it's inevitable. Fortnite need to be more open with development cycles for modes that don't rely off of secret updates such as Battle Royale. For Blitz, at least they've been giving us like a JPEG of what's to come, and for OG, we already know what comes next, but for everything else, we have no idea whether its next update will be its last. But at the end of the day, as long as your favorite mode is Battle Royale, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. So if BR is still the primary playlist, what even is Blitz? Did you not even listen to the first 2 minutes of the video? Jesus Christ, what do I... Blitz Royale is Fortnite's latest metaverse game mode, a shorter version of the standard Battle Royale playlist which takes elements from Fortnite's past, whether that be from their original IP, from external IP, and allows players to mess around with them in a low-pressure, casual environment. To put it simply, Blitz is for the everyman. You know the tale of the guy who goes to work, comes home, feeds his kids dinner, says hello to his wife's boyfriend, and at the very end of the day takes 5 minutes to play his favorite game, only to get steamrolled by TTTV's Sammy Shringleham Excalibur. Blitz Royale is the absolute opposite of that experience. It's made purely for fun until Fortnite add competitive to it, that is. It's funny because they announced the first Blitz tournament a few days after writing this, which in my opinion is the most brain-dead thing they ever could have done with this mode, other than adding skill-based matchmaking. Oh wait, nothing about Blitz is balanced. Nothing about Blitz is tested. It's all put together for a low-stakes, high-fun environment where anyone can enjoy Fortnite. Yeah. Even you. And yeah, Blitz does feel a bit like fast food, where you know it's bad for you and you know that there's better stuff out there, stuff that's more fulfilling, but hey man, I'll eat what I fucking want, so why don't you just shut the At the end of the day, gaming isn't about a top-tier, high-quality experience that has a balanced and fair starts and competitive features in the market. It's about having fun. And I don't know about you, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. Special thanks to everyone who has been using code BigCraigd in the Fortnite item shop during the past month. This is actually my best ever month for my creator code, so thank you very, very much. And again, thank you to all the channel members. There will be a lot more content coming your way, and if you enjoyed today's video, then feel free to click that funny card on the screen to take yourself to another long-form video like this one. The better these videos do, the more I can make. Okay, bye.